Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Think of all that time. Every wait in the winter. All those hours no one else saw. Every sprint in the summer. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings on the levee. Late nights in the film room. Bus rides to playoff games. Every bump in the road. Every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. Man, I got this. It's a 60-minute drive for a 60-minute game. After all the miles we've traveled, we're almost there. After all the hours we've worked, one more can make us legends. After all that time, this is our time.
Seems like no nonsense guy. Like
re-emphasize that for the Saints fans out there on TikTok. Caveman, what did you just say?
The rebuild starts right now. Marshawn Lattimore's gone, so the defense, like we're not getting any better.
Looking to get into Smith. What a pass! That game! Wardell Smith with the game winner! Oh my goodness!
And that is why you have Aaron Fry pass the ball in. A career year. Like you have you have the best quarterback in the league, arguably, the best wide receiver in the league, and you've got the best edge rusher in terms of total sacks this season. And you're 4-7, and your playoff chances are hanging on by it. Let's make it interesting.
We're making it interesting. Come on. Give us the freaking home. We'll take it.
Oh, no!
Oh, no.
Put him in there.
This knocked the
Put him in there.
Who the heck is that guy?
Deflected good, help defense from the Warriors. Oh, what a pass! And Kuminga throws it down! This could be the pass of the year so far. You might watch every game the rest of the season in the NBA.
Mr. Announcer guy. So don't you go saying that you're never going to see that.
You're such a hater.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. HG and Caveman in the house. H-Train running the sound. We've got a lot to cover on today's episode. We had a few more games finish up to wrap up the road to the Final Four in the women's national tournament. So let's get into those games. We had UConn, USC, and Texas versus TCU. Which one do you want to start with, HG? Which one?
We'll start with UConn, USC over here. Gotta give the Trojans some credit where credit's due. They put up a pretty good fight, being down their best player. Yeah. So I'll give them some credit, but ultimately UConn was too much for them with the 14-point victory. And so we got the Huskies going to play the Bruins in the Final Four. But let's get into some of the strong performances from this one.
Page with 31.
Yep. Just another night where she was absolutely on fire. 6 rebounds, 4 steals for her, or 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 blocks, all over the court. Sarah Strong was a monster on the defensive boards. All 17 of her rebounds.
Defensive rebounds.
They were all defensive rebounds. She had 17 of those to go with 22 points, 4 assists as well. So the center dishing the rock a little bit as well. That's a pretty good combo right there. Caitlin Shen, she had a really good game as well. 15 points. Some very impressive layups too, but like a lot of athleticism and finesse required on those, and she got them to drop. So they were pretty much most of UConn's offense. You had 8 points for Azzy Fudd, and then KK Arnold scored 2 points off the bench. So not a whole lot of other production from everyone else, but you got when those three are humming and clicking along, you'll be all right.
That's like looking at this third quarter too. You come out of the halftime break, and it looks like this game is going to be a lot closer than it is, but UConn just really turned it around in the fourth. It was when they hit that spark, just like they ended the first half with 25. They ended the second with 27. I mean, but at USC, man, proving they're still a pretty good defensive team. I mean, just kind of limiting it to like 2-3 scorers here, mainly. KK Arnold was 1 for 4. Azzy Fudd wasn't really shooting too well.
Yeah, 3 for 14.
It was kind of just those. If they stopped a couple more of those shots from going in, like this game's a lot closer. So,
and that's easier said than done. Especially,
a lot easier, yeah.
Especially at Paige when she's crazy like that, just getting a little bit of space, and she can just knock it down from pretty much anywhere on the court.
Going 50% here.
Yeah, 4 for 8 from 3, 9 of 18 from the field. Got to the line 11 times.
Incredibly efficient, and just fills up the stat sheet.
Right. It was just fun, like scoring all over the place. What are you gonna do? Kiki Arifin, needed a bigger game from her, honestly.
Yeah, only 10 and 6. The 1 assist. And I mean, not great shooting. We kind of saw this in the last few games, though, that really it was kind of Raya Marshall and Avery Howard kind of holding it down for him in the last 2 games.
Raya Marshall definitely held it down in this one. 23 and 15 for her is nothing to scoff at either. That was a pretty impressive performance out of her. Avery Howell and Kennedy Smith didn't score a lot, but they added some defensive contributions as well. But yeah, the Trojans that was ultimately what we talked about a little bit on Monday, is that they were going to need to shoot a lot better, and they didn't. And that's where despite their poor shooting, they hung in pretty close for a little bit, but the poor shooting just caught up to them.
It's only 3 threes made too. Like they can't really stretch the floor as much as they could, I feel like, without Juju, which kind of sucks for their offense because it makes you really easy to guard being mainly inside team. If you get all your passes on the interior, score on the interior a lot, I mean, they're just going to have more people. It's going to be much easier for them to defend once they figure you out.
Yeah, it wasn't even like they were really able to necessarily dominate inside. UConn had more points in the paint than them.
Yeah.
And
that's thanks to Sarah Strong.
Their turnovers were pretty costly. UConn scored 20 points off of turnovers on this one. So, I mean, they did a good job. They on the glass. outside of Sarah Strong,
They got pretty good rebounds. They had won the rebound battle here by 11. So
they just had to be a little more accurate to keep this close, and it would have really made it interesting, but they just couldn't convert at a high clip. And that was ultimately their doom. But to still make it all the way to the Elite Eight, despite losing Juju in the round of 32.
Yeah, second round.
He lose her in the second round.
It's a pretty good run. They beat some
Right.
good teams on the way.
Had to go through Kansas State in the Sweet 16. I mean, honestly, if she was in here, I think they might have had an actual chance to beat them too.
Oh yeah.
Just that would have given them a little more offense. Because they played UConn pretty well defensively. Outside of outside of like three girls, that was all of UConn's offense.
I feel like it limits their turnovers by so much too, just having that like primary ball handler there constantly. Like the ball movement, the chemistry, it just seems like it's more there when she's on the floor. But a good run from them. Shout out USC Trojans. They're definitely going to be back next year. Juju's young. She's definitely going to recover from this injury well.
Yes, she will. All right, well, let's head on over to Texas and TCU.
Little Texas matchup.
Much
right
more
here.
defensive game over here. 58-47. The Longhorns come on out on top.
Honestly, Texas, that's all they really needed to do was play some good defense against this team. Because outside of Haley Van Lith, who didn't really have a good game from the field here, was 3 for 15. Still got 17 points, but just not a bad shooting performance. Once you limit her and Sedona Prince, that team, someone's got to step up.
Nobody was willing to answer the bell, rather. Yeah, Sedona 4 points and then fouled out early in the fourth. So they were just giving their hell, and that'll hurt the draft stock, I think, because I mean you kind of just proved you just put some size on her.
Yeah, and kind of got eliminated from the game.
Yeah, just make her really uncomfortable. Taylor Jones, and I mean it was Kyla Oldacre off the bench that was really just locking up Sedona late in that one. They were going to Oldacre more there in the second half, and she was just giving Sedona all types of problems. And she's a real big center, and she stole an inbound pass and then ran it down on the from coast to coast on the break and got fouled and made an and one. That was like maybe one of the most tight moments of the game.
They both fell on the ground after she's flexing on and teammates
Right.
are getting hype. And that was like Sedona's third or fourth foul. So
Yeah.
TCU just completely lost all their momentum right there.
In 15 minutes off the bench, she managed to record 9 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a blocked shot. And just pretty much takes Sedona out of the game. And then Taylor Jones was not to be outdone. She had 7 points and 6 rebounds, but a steal herself and 4 blocked shots.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the lead and everything inside. And the Madison Booker was was red hot from the mid range. I'll tell you, that's what I like watching about this Texas team. Like Booker really just is a savant in that mid range. I mean, she hit I don't know how she got this like fadeaway, like off of one leg type of a shot to fall, right as the shot clock was going off. She swished it too. It was greened it, nothing but net. It's a lot of fun watching somebody just operate there in that mid range. I feel like you don't see that as much.
You don't
anymore,
see it as much anymore. People like to work the perimeter or, get the flashy inside, like nice, tough layup, nice, strong dunk. You don't see a lot of mid-range players anymore. You like to see it. Just happy to see, though. Eliminate, That's one way to beat Sedona Prince. Also, limiting her to just take as little shots as possible. Really, because all her back to the basket opportunities were met with a defender the same size as her. So it wasn't as easy for her to just get that easy turnaround that she usually does when it's someone else that's like 4 inches shorter than her and weighs about 50 pounds less.
Yeah, she can't just push him aside essentially. You can't just be bigger and stronger than the defender. You actually don't have any finesse or touch on that shot. You just get
or really that good at footwork.
No.
Because they're not shaking them. If it's a bigger defender, I mean, wouldn't they be someone that would be easier to get with a nice post move, good little fake spin, and like you have a lot of options you can really do with your back to the basket than you really think. Like just look at some of the bigs in the NBA right now and how they're playmaking from the post. You see that a lot. But
yeah, all of TCU's offense was pretty much coming from the line too. They had 19 of their 47 points came from free throws. They were 4 of 20 from 3 and then 12 of 45. And look, Texas, they don't shoot threes. That's not what they're about. They took threes all game.
They took 3. They
made 2 of them. Made 2 of them. So 2 for 3. You'll take it. Look, they know what they do well. They weren't worried about that. They got the look. They let it rip, but they weren't actively trying for it.
They got every other look they wanted. They took 61 shots. So they really got whatever they wanted.
Oh yeah, they were doing whatever they wanted in the interior. So they were like, well, we'll let you guys just keep chucking up threes. We'll take those rebounds. We'll take those second chance points. Yeah.
Add some draft stock to Kyla Oldacre. What years is she? We may see more of her. She's a junior. Okay. We may see some more of her next season.
I believe Taylor Jones is a senior, so she might be getting the start nod.
All right.
Next year.
He definitely was a spark off the bench for him in this game, so that will be exciting if she stays there to start.
That fast break steal that she had really sparked a momentum and run that helped Texas really, maintain the lead for the rest of that game. Yeah, so I think we'll see Oldacre be in the starting lineup. Taylor Jones is a senior.
And for all our Sedona Prince haters out there, you got what you wanted to see. You got to see her foul out her final college game.
Go out sad. I guess she had 9 rebounds, but only 4 points.
Was really battling for him. She just played all 4 quarters before she finally did foul out.
Just the right place at the right time.
She had enough time to get 9 rebounds.
All right, well, let's take a look at what these Final Four matchups are going to be and what to kind of expect here. So let's start UCLA UConn.
This is going to be fun.
It is.
Kiki Rice, though, it's definitely going to be a big game for her. She's been kind of quiet the past few games. We've been talking about it on Mondays.
Right, and she hasn't been shooting all too well, not scoring a lot, doing a good job facilitating, but, looking to see how she steps up. It's going to really be a battle between 2 teams that have a great guard center combo.
Yeah. And like right now, UConn offensively is just on fire. Is Paige a bust if she doesn't win a natty at UConn?
I mean, I wouldn't say a bust, but it would certainly be disappointment to not win the national championship.
Definitely.
Type of season she's had, and the type of tournament she's had. What was the stat? Like the only UConn player ever over like a 3-game span to record like multiple 30-point, 6 assists and like 6 rebound game or something like that.
Dang.
Like only player ever. So not a bust. I mean, she's having an incredible season, has had an incredible tournament, but it would be a pretty major letdown.
Oh yeah.
Go pull my nose real quick, Caveman.
All right. But yeah, I do think UConn is just so red hot offensively right now that it's got to be on Kiki Rice to just really have a good high clip this game. I mean, because UConn has seen it the past 2 games. They've got film on her. They know what's going on. It's going to be pretty easy for them to try to eliminate the shots that go more to her because they have such a deep team. You know, they could definitely try to abuse the fact that she hasn't had that great of past couple games shooting, and they could definitely try to exploit it. So
the role players on each team are going to be a pretty big factor here too. You know.
Oh, for sure.
Gabriela Jaquez and
does she keep shooting like she does?
She was she was red hot.
It's going to be tough.
And Tamia Gardner was also knocking them down from off the bench. So, Caitlin Chen, KK Arnold, girls like that, Ice Brady. Like, what are they going to do in their minutes? You know, how are they going to impact the game? And it's not necessarily even in scoring, but like, what are they gonna make that play defensively or something like that? You know?
Yeah.
Because you're gonna see, I think Paige and Sarah are gonna work that two woman game pretty well, and then I mean, you're gonna see Lauren Betts. She's gonna be a tough matchup inside for Sarah. So I mean, Sarah, like, Betts is gonna have the height advantage, so I think Sarah's gonna need to take a page out of LSU and just be really physical with her.
Yeah.
They'll need to kind of do a little bit more of a rotation, I think, too, because you're probably going to pick up some fouls, and you're just going to have to be okay with that, and just don't let her get comfortable in the post, because we saw her. She hardly missed against whoever they played before LSU. That was
NC State.
No.
LSU played them
against Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yeah, she was just unstoppable.
Way too comfortable in there. So that'll be the big key there. Congrats to UCLA. I didn't even know they had a women's basketball until this year, to be honest. Yeah, women's hoops, they've
snuck up
usually pretty quiet, but they put a pretty good team together.
This was a good squad this year that they got.
We'll see. It'll be time this is probably their biggest game of the season. It's the Final Four. But that definitely their toughest challenge, if I had to.
Yeah, UConn's tough. It's probably gonna be UConn in this one. Who do you got, HG?
I'm still gonna go to UConn.
I wanna, yeah. And
I just don't. I can't in good faith pick against Paige.
It's the safe pick, but
she's just like that, and I mean she's on an incredible run. I just don't see how you cool her off. She is just on fire right now. And like looking to win on the Final Four run last year, and just ultimately couldn't get class Caitlin Clark. So I think she's just playing with a real chip on her shoulder too. All right, now we got an SEC title game rematch here.
South Carolina, Texas. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but South Carolina kind of put belt to ass against Texas when they met in the SEC championship. Oh yeah, they did 64-45. So we'll go. I'm going to go back, flashback to the SEC championship. We're going to look at this game a little bit. A game where Texas got held to 6 points in the second quarter. Madison Booker was 4 of 13. Rory Harmon 6 of 15. Wow. Texas shot 30% from the field. They were 1 of 8 from 3. Okay. Yeah, I mean, does it go this bad again? Probably not. Right? I mean, Texas, you got something on film. You know what to be expecting. Chloe Kitts led South Carolina in this one. Tessa Johnson with 14 off the bench. They weren't really great from 3 either, but certainly a lot better from the field. All right. So Texas, I mean, are you gonna playing scared, maybe remembering this beatdown from last time? Or do we got a chip on their shoulder? Like, are we looking to
I think definitely got a chip on their shoulder coming into this game. Because you look, at least for South Carolina, the last 2 games been within 4 points. So kind of haven't really came away with any that felt too commanding there. You know? Texas, on the other hand, huge win against Tennessee and just completely eliminated like a really good guard and big duo that was in this bracket right here with Sedona Prince and Haley Van Lith. So I think really just got to watch out for Madison Booker to have a huge game against them.
Right. Well, Texas does have some pretty good size, and losing Cardoza has made SC a lot smaller. So their tallest girl now is 6'5". I mean, you've got Taylor Jones, you've got Booker, you got Kayla Oldacre. I mean, they're all 6'7", 6'8". I think Oldacre's 6'10". So that's a lot of size. So it'll be, can you use that to your advantage? I mean, I think the key will be, all right, who's going to be able to dictate what type of game is played? Like Texas, you're going to want to dictate. It's an in the paint, physical, grinded out type of ball game. I think South Carolina is going to probably want this game to be a little faster, played a little bit more on the perimeter. If they can get their 3-point shooting going, Texas doesn't really have that type of 3-point offense to match them. But if they have to, get in the paint and stop the mid range, stop the bigs from scoring in the post, and letting all the guards and everything cut to the basket off of these pick and rolls, probably not going to go their way. I'm going to still say South Carolina though, because I'm like they find ways to win even when it's ugly and it doesn't look good.
They do.
And everything you look at makes you say, oh well, they should have lost this game. They'll still find the way to win it. For that reason, yeah, I got to go with.
I'm going with them too here. I think it's going to be a really close game and probably super defensive game too. I think Texas just wants to play that long and drawn out style of game with you, where it's just low scoring, really high defensive matchup. Like you were just saying, I think if South Carolina plays pretty fast though, it could get out of hand if they're not shooting efficiently. That definitely could get out of hand.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm still going South Carolina. They're a good defensive team too.
They got it.
That's the one thing that would make me worried for them, is that the size disadvantage that they might have there.
So our prediction for the national championship and the women's bracket this year, HG and Caveman, we both got UConn versus South Carolina right here.
Yes, we do.
That's personally though, I think South Carolina win all that.
Really, I'm partially UConn. I think Paige has got. I mean, look, South Carolina did kind of end Caitlin Clark's senior season that same way. Ruined it for her. So she could definitely do that. They definitely do that for Paige.
Don Staley, the villain arc, the villain era for you right now.
I mean, they really are. They're like they're kind of the empire of women's basketball.
Going undefeated last year and just the face of the entire NCAA for women's basketball just knocked her off. Knocked her out. Can they do it back-to-back years?
All right, the men's Final Four. Let's get some predictions for this real quick here. Florida Gators and the Auburn Tigers.
I like that case that you had for Florida on Monday. I just really feel like John Ibroom has just been pretty electric for him this last game and against Ole Miss. Against Michigan State and against Michigan. I think John Ibroom has just been on fire, and I want to see that matchup of him against Cooper Flagg, because I feel like that is like your best matchup for that guy.
Yeah, on
And it's
paper,
probably
that's
the last
definitely.
time we're gonna see it too.
Yeah, Broom's a senior, isn't he? So this is probably his last hurrah. He's definitely going to the NBA. I mean, after the season he had, there's no way you don't declare for the draft.
Yeah,
Here.
there's no chance. He's got to.
Walter Clayton and Denver Jones. That'll be a great matchup. Yeah, Walter Payton's going to have to play out of his mind for sure. Probably going to need to have another 30-point game. Condon, it's him and Hulk or Haug, however you say that guy's last name. It's them against Broom and Cardwell Jones. Trying to limit those guys' impact in the paint, and can you score on them, because those dudes, they're both of them, Broom and Cardwell, strong and great defenders that really, I mean, they really had Michigan State with their two 7-footers. They were shook up there against them. I'm blanking on his name, but that center on Michigan State had him in turmoil that whole game. So can Florida's bigs put up a good fight against Auburn's bigs, and can Florida really shoot lights out from three? Because I think I've seen Auburn struggle to get it going from three sometimes.
Yeah, if they win on the inside though, they're just gonna get that lead.
Well, that once they get their offense on the inside going, the half court and more of the, cutting to the basket, playing out of the post. Once that's going, then they start getting hot from three. And
yeah, it's like
look
they
out.
just need to see a few shots go in. You're like, all right, it's time for us to stretch the floor, take a couple threes. Let's go pick and fade now with John I. Broom. And even if they're closing out, just pull it over. They had some insane shots against Michigan State.
I'll say the last time these two teams met, Florida on the road in Auburn's building,
they're the favorite.
Beat
right
them.
Now.
They are the favorite. And I don't think it's all unlikely that they don't beat them. I think they match up really well against them.
Yeah. They played each other a lot this season.
And you know what? I think I'm going to go Florida. I'm taking Florida to win this one here.
You know what? I'm going with Florida. Going with Florida. Auburn, I'm sorry. Jimmy, don't tell your brother if you're still watching, man. Don't tell your brother. But Auburn, you let me down last year, so I'm picking Florida right now.
Right.
Let's go. I'm going with them. I like the case that you've made from the past two episodes, HG. I'm going to Florida to win it. This next game, though, I have to say, I just want Duke to win, so at the national championship.
Right. I hate to say
entertaining.
I'm rooting for Duke, but an SEC school against Houston would be so incredibly boring.
No,
it just turned into this slow, grinded out defensive game. Shots would just be clanging off the rim and backboard. Nothing be going in. I just imagine like both teams shooting sub 30% and like a 55-52 final score. Like I don't want to see that at all.
No, I'm not a fan.
Because I think like Duke's gonna probably force these teams to play faster, to speed it up and play an offense, and like either team can match, Duke on offense, and at least play to that pace and that offensive pace that Duke can make you play at.
Houston's pace is the complete opposite.
Houston's just so boring,
and it's really just defense.
They're great. They're an elite defensive team. Elite. I'll never take that away from them. They honestly could beat Duke and then one of these schools, but I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Are like probably if not one of or the best team best team defensively in this entire tournament.
Defensive teams left in the tournament. It's Houston. I mean, I think it's been Houston all tournament.
All tournament, I think, easily just the best defensive team. Yeah. And that's just their identity, really. And as a viewer, I agree with you there that I don't really want to see them in the final. I feel like they have a chance to do it, though. Duke, the odds are a lot slimmer in this one, only 5.5 points. In the last few games, they've been far, far greater odds for Duke Blue Devils to win. So,
yeah, I think this is probably this might be their closest line of the whole tournament.
Yeah,
for them here. But ultimately, I hate to say it, I got to root for the Empire. Just let's have Duke win. It'll be more entertaining.
Go Duke.
And then we can root for an SEC school to take him down. Whoever comes out on top. But if I'm being objective and just looking at it, Duke's probably winning it all.
Yeah.
They're so stacked.
And just so big. We keep talking about it on Monday. The size of that team. Their starting point guard is 6'6". So that's pretty much the starting 5 guys. You got a 6'5" plus. You're pretty much guarding an NBA team at this point.
Yeah.
That's like the 2023-24 Timberwolves starting 5. You had Anthony Edwards, who's like 6'4", 6'5", Jaden McDaniels, and just 3 other big men that are 7 feet tall. Like you're dealing with an insanely tall team.
It's insane. Yeah, they've got multiple guys that are going potentially first round, including the guy that's probably going number 1 overall, unless he for some reason decides to run it back.
Yep.
But I think you win. If you win it, go to the NBA, right? But if they he's threatening to not go if like the Hornets or the Wizards have the number 1 overall pick. It's like Cooper, they're going to be ass again next year. We'll be right back to square one. But all right. Oh man,
you're just gonna force the team to trade the pick.
Yeah, I don't blame them, and I don't want to see Cooper Flag go to Charlotte or DC.
It's the lottery.
Maybe Portland. So, it'd be bullcrap, but it'd be better to see him go to like the Spurs. I don't want him to go to New Orleans either.
No, dude, no.
I think he's going to be a really special player. I want him to go to a relevant NBA team that's going to actually, they're just having a bad year, but they'll be, back in the mix next year.
Like the Clippers, maybe.
Right. Wouldn't hate that, but
they're also, that's also just a freaking dumpster fire at this point.
Yeah, for real.
Because once they lose Kawhi, the team is nothing.
Well, we've been going for a while, Caveman, so we should take a quick music break. When we come back, we can look at the standings and see which teams are ass and who might have a shot at Cooper Flag.
Let's check it out.
As well as dive into some of the news going around the NBA. Steph Curry and Nikola Jokic both with monster nights last night. Oh, yeah. Plus another fight courtesy of the Detroit Pistons. Whoop, whoop. All that and more on Till the Final Whistle here on Military Broadcast Radio.
Reel me in, please reel me in. Won't you reel me in? Just reel me in. Come on. Won't you reel me in? Please reel me in. Won't you reel me in? Just reel me in. Oh, I'm lost, searching for some meaning. Come on, break down, catch another feeling. Come on, I'm lost, searching for some meaning. Come on, break down, catch another feeling. And you gotta reel me in. Oh, please reel me in. Just reel me
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
You are looking live, everybody, at Till the Final Whistle with HG and Caveman. Another episode. Just finished up our final four predictions and a quick recap of the women's Elite Eight matchups that happened on Monday, and now we're kicking it over to the NBA.
Yeah.
Let's check at the standings though and see.
Yeah,
who
so I'm
is
looking
gonna
at it.
Have a chance at Cooper Flag.
Obviously, I really wouldn't want Flag to be in the East because then the Nuggets would have to deal with them more. But I mean, at least if you went to like a team like Portland or San Antonio, I think that they'd be able to get some value out of them. Utah, New Orleans, hell no.
No.
Maybe like he could end up on Sacramento too.
That would be pretty.
That would be pretty
cool.
sick. I'd be about that. In the East, definitely don't want them in Philadelphia.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, even though they could probably get something out of him, like hate the Sixers, hate them. Charlotte, Washington, nah. I mean, like, please no. Those are black holes. Brooklyn, I'm kind of on the fence about. Like, that maybe that could be good. Like he could Cooper Flag in the Big Apple. I mean, that would certainly sell some tickets because for merchandise. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not sure. With that, if the Nets would actually get any better. The Raptors. Bro, him and Scotty Barnes though, that would be a lot of fun.
They just got Brandon Ingram too.
Yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting about that. That was like the most what the hell trade are we doing like for both teams?
Let's both just get worse.
Right.
What does that really do to?
Well, neither one of us have any chance of going to the playoffs. Let's just trade players and picks for some reason. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Unless, I mean, Toronto, I'm like, that could maybe be like a year or two from now type of move where it's like, all right, we just trying to get him here and get him on the cheap. Yeah, screw it. Put him on the the Bulls did lock up a playing spot. So I mean, if they make the playoffs,
the Bulls, Jimmy, come on now.
Yeah.
Actually, Cooper Flag on the Bulls. That would be cool.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, man.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome. Get him up there with Kobe White, Buzelis, however you say that dude's name. Man, that would be a fun trio for years to come.
That would be cool.
All right, well,
they don't have any Zach LaVine anymore.
And you know what? I mean, that's all right. They got to just trade away Vucevic and move along from that attempt of building a big three with LaVine, Ball, and Vuce. It Didn't work. Let's back it up. Let's move on. All right. Well, we got some scores to get into here real quick as well. I mean, we had two phenomenal games last night. First, the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Steph Curry went
dude.
off, and then maybe the game of the year, a double overtime thriller between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, where again, Nikola Jokic does something historic, never done before by any player ever in NBA history, for his team to lose, just
And
for
if we-
Russell Westbrook to sell him out.
If we
I'm
won
s-
that game, dude, that's his MVP moment right there. And does that sure it up for him to win it?
That might.
What do you
It
think?
really might.
'Cause I kind of want Shea to win it this year, honestly. But like Jokic is just having like one of the best years in NBA history, one of the greatest seasons in NBA history.
Oh yeah, hands down. I mean,
Top
there's no
5
question.
in every major stat line, and is shooting extremely efficiently from everywhere on the floor. The best player on his team. Best player. Okay, I mean, I don't want to talk about it too much. We can get in that
I wanna get
MVP
into
debate
this.
all day. That's why I just say I want Shea to
I'm
win.
just like, dude, like what is, like you want to look at team success as a factor in the MVP, and I'm like, bro, what more can the man do?
Yeah.
Like he played, like he had one break through the second quarter, and then he played like the entire rest of the game in the double overtime, and put up like one of the best performances ever in NBA history, just for somebody else to sell the game.
There was 6 minutes and about 48 seconds left in the second quarter when he finally got subbed back in after he got some rest, and he played every single minute after that until the end. You want to talk about till the final whistle?
That was
Nikola Jokic.
That was
man.
Jokic last night.
Nikola Jokic last night did it.
All right. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's give Curry his flowers, because 52 points,
52 points,
10
man.
rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, and a block shot. What? Steph Curry,
And he's 2 shots away from breaking
12
the record.
20 from 3.
2 shots away from breaking the record for most 3-pointers made in a single game.
Or 12. Yeah, I said 12 for 20. That's right.
And he was extremely efficient. Like, I swear somebody told him in the huddle or something that he was close to the record, because he just started chucking threes after. And like his next 6 after that stoppage in time and like quick media timeout was just 1 for 6 from him. Like he just started chucking shots. Still finished 60% and 51% from the field total.
Dude, the Warriors
He just filled the stat sheet.
28 of 28 from the line. They took 56 threes too. Man.
Jimmy with 12 free throws.
Yeah, 27 points too. Yeah, pretty good night
11.
for Jimmy.
Extremely efficient shooting night. Even Moses Moody was hitting some threes last night, dude.
But this was really one of those games where it was like, yo, like just get out of Steph Curry's way and let him go off.
Just let him try to go.
How old is he now? 35? And he's still doing stuff
36,
like that. Yeah.
I mean, we saw it
all
last
time
year.
great, man.
We saw it last year in the Olympics. He's still got a lot left in the tank, because he went off against the competition.
Warriors are scared. I would not want to be a high seed getting them around one. And as the projections are sitting right now, it'd be the Nuggets and the Warriors. And I'm not super confident about that, man.
Yeah, I really
they,
don't wanna
unlike
see him.
Denver, made a move at the deadline to really get this going. I thought the Nuggets were supposed to get Jimmy Butler, man. I saw like as soon as the trade rumor started, Denver was always like one of the teams at the top of the list for the Jimmy trade rumors, and
the Nuggets would
nothing.
never get a player like Jimmy Butler though, just because of off the court. I don't think the Nuggets would ever do that. Like the most wild and crazy guy that we've ever gotten was Birdman. Other than that, the Nuggets players are pretty boring.
The drama with Melo too, when he forced his way out of Denver.
That's why we wouldn't get. That's why the Nuggets.
We're still traumatized from that. But I don't care. I mean, get over ourselves. We need a guy like him, man.
Exactly.
Our defense is terrible. First of all, I mean, it's just straight to the rack on this team.
Yeah.
We traded.
Seriously.
We let KCP walk, a great 3-and-D guy, because keeping him would have put that there's the whole complicated NBA cap rules and everything, would have put restrictions on us, and then if we tried to make trades and moves on what we could have done, so we had to let them walk so we could be more unrestricted in their trading, and then we just don't do anything. So, all right, well, now we're a terrible team defensively, and we let a good defender walk to just not make any moves and help our center, who's having the like an all-time season. Like, this will be, we'll like look back on this season and be like, wow, this was one of the greatest single seasons the players ever put out. Maybe the greatest, just statistically, when it's all said and done. And we're not gonna do anything to just get them a little more support. Like, I'm a diehard Nuggets fan, and it's just so frustrating because like Jokic will have some insane games. I mean, that 56-point game against the Wizards early in the year, we lost. We get swept by the Wizards too, and like he had a 45-point triple double against them in that one, and we lost.
Oh yeah, that was the Jordan Poole game winner against us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's like putting up some insane numbers, and then you're seeing like that we're still losing a good number of these games. It's so frustrating. I do not want to run into the Warriors, man. This team, they've got the chemistry is there. I mean, they're just humming along. Curry's liable to do this at any point, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary to think about that, man.
And like this was they dropped 134, and I'd say there's probably now third best offensive option in Podziemski or Moses Moody.
No way. No way. Hold on. I'm checking out the Suns Bucks game, Joel. You're never gonna believe it. Guess who's still playing, man? Colin Gillespie. He's on the Suns, man. He had 18 points last night.
You can see it back there. Joel's got the signed Colin Gillespie.
Yes, he's not a scrub.
He's still in the league, man. He shot 50% last night.
He's still getting it done. Incredible game by Curry. Now we got to talk about Jokic. I mean, monster performance just all around. It was a 61-point triple-double. The first ever 60-plus point triple-double that any player's ever recorded. Nobody's ever scored 60 and put up a triple-double until Nikola Jokic. All for him to lose the game by 1 point. He played 53 minutes. 53 minutes, 61 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. He was 19 of 24 from the line, 6 of 11 from 3, 18 of 29.
The game was 58 minutes long, by the way.
Yeah.
Also,
Aaron Gordon had 30 points. Gordon's been shooting pretty well from 3. No Jamal Murray. Murray was hurt last night. 18 from Brown. Peyton Watson got the starting nod. He only gave us 7 points. Did have 4 block shots, so
not bad.
Great defensive effort there by P. Watt. Brown had 10 rebounds himself. 3 steals. Oh, Jokic also had 2 steals, so getting some stuff done on defense as well. I mean, we had Jalen Pickett starting in this one as well. Russell Wilson came in off the bench. Russell Westbrook, rather. And, I mean, yeah, would have been a solid game out of the Russ. 12 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, blocked 2 shots, had a steal in there as well. 4 for 11, not the best night shooting. 0 for 3 from 3. Forgivable stuff. I mean, good game out of him until his 1 steal led to a 2-on-1 fast break, and then he has the easiest layup I've ever seen. This is at the end of double overtime. We're up by 1 point. You get a steal, lay it up, you're up by 3. chunks the layup, and then the T-Wolves bring it back down the other way, and then Ant, instead of trying to, do an off-balanced kind of contested floater, kicks it out to Jaden McDaniels in the corner, but like late. I mean, there was like 2 seconds left on the game clock. So it's a rush shot by Jaden McDaniels. It's short, but Russell Westbrook fouls him on the shot. Nuggets lose it at the line. Kyle saying I'd personally rather play the Warriors over the
Honestly,
T-Wolves.
yeah.
I mean,
Timberwolves are just built to beat us.
We're their championship. I mean, they just like their fans, the players beating the Nuggets is just like the most important thing to them. So, yeah, I mean, I would rather get the Warriors because I think we could probably still beat them in like 6. But they're looking
scary,
hot too.
sure.
Yeah,
And they're on fire.
maybe we get the Clippers. Yeah, we got the Bleacher Report projected standings right now. I mean, it's right. You got the Warriors sitting at 6. The Nuggets are the 3 seed. So I mean, round 1 matchups are projected as Thunder, Clippers, Lakers, Grizzlies. I mean, I could like the Warriors jump the Grizzlies. I'd love the Grizzlies round 1. That would be a good tune-up series, man. Because you fire their coach. I mean, like 9 games before the season's over, they're in turmoil.
I think that's true. They really could drop. They lost a big one.
I mean, that's just priming them up to have a disappointing postseason. But yeah, if the T-Wolves don't get the Nuggets round 1, I think they're gonna they'll be first round exits. But if they get us, they're gonna take. I mean, at the very least, take us to 7. But they're projected to play the Rockets right now.
I would honestly rather see the Rockets in the second round too.
In this game for the Timberwolves, yeah, I mean, we just had a hard time stopping pretty much everyone. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, he got 26 off the bench, 34 for Ant, 26 for Randall, 19 for Rudy Gobert, 12 for McDaniels.
That's rare you even see Rudy Gobert get above 10. I mean, 19 is just...
Dude, on 7 of 11 shooting,
tragic,
too.
Man.
And we put him at the line 9 times. I mean, it's not the worst thing to put him at the line, but he knocked down 5
He made
of them.
Yeah.
So. Just, well, like the clutch gene, where they go for Denver. I mean, we had them all. That was not a tough layup. It was a 2-on-1, and Brown, played it really well last second, kick it back to Westbrook, so the defender couldn't really get up a good contest, and he just missed it badly. Missed it really badly. So OKC, they're basically locked into they're locked into the 1 seed. That's been established for a while.
No catching them.
So actually, you know what? Just as of today, as of last night, Golden State did jump the Grizzlies. So that would be Lakers, Golden State round 1, and then the Nuggets would have the Grizzlies. So hopefully the standings
let's keep it
stay like that. I think if we can get some things like the Grizzlies are going to be, they're in a lot of turmoil. I mean, your coach is gone. That never bodes well when you fire him right before a playoff run. So I think they're, the interim head coach is still trying to figure out, how to lead that team and everything, and trying to do that going into the postseason against a more experienced veteran team like this. Give us a chance to get our bull crap together in the playoffs and get a little more focused up and ready for some tougher competition. Because then we could be looking at round for what the 3 seed we're playing. We'll be playing maybe the Thunder in the next round, or probably
we'd be playing either the 2 or the 7.
Oh yeah, no, we'd be playing either the 2 or the 7. That's right. So we could be looking at the
or
Rockets or the Timberwolves again.
Is who is Unless we jump up to the 2, that's the only way we'd go back up to seeing the Thunder.
As I'm looking at it, Dallas, I don't think they're making it. They might. I don't know. The Clippers are looking really good when Kawhi's out there. So I think Minnesota and LA definitely make it. And then we're looking at the top 8 seeds in the West. Or who you got over here in the East, though? Yo, watch out for the Bulls. They're down at the 10th seed, but they secure the spot in the play-in, and I think they could very well beat Miami. And I think the Magic would probably take care of the Hawks if these standings hold. The Magic would probably beat the Hawks, and I think the Bulls beat the Hawks pretty easily too.
Yeah,
they take them out, give them a matchup with. I mean, they're going to get their shit stomped by either Cleveland or Boston. How many games are left? Are there 4 or 5?
Let's see.
And now Cleveland would have to have a basically lose out, and Boston would have to win out to catch him. But they're just behind them there. You're probably looking at round 1 matchups for the East. I'm looking Cleveland, Chicago, Boston, and Orlando. Got the Knicks and the Bucks, and then Pacers, Pistons. Man, the Pistons could I think they could shock the Pacers.
They really could.
See the Pistons going to the next round playing the Cavs. It's another kind of modern version or iteration of the bad boy Pistons out there fighting people. I mean, they just play a physical
6 games left.
In your face
5
brand
or
of
6,
basketball.
Depending on what team you got.
Okay,
the Nuggets got 6. And the final game's actually on April 13th. So
we're real close. Yeah, dude. I think the Pistons. If you're the Pacers, I'd rather have the Bucks than the Pistons round 1. I'm not even gonna lie.
Honestly, yeah.
That's a scrappy team, man.
Pistons will suspend your guys for 2-3 games, and then they'll end up beating you in 6 games.
Exactly.
You don't want that to happen. You don't want that.
Right. They had a huge brawl with the Timberwolves just a couple nights earlier. They got Isaiah Stewart. That guy he's always looking for a fight. I kind of like he's a menace, man.
He's always looking for
a villain type there in Detroit. He got suspended 2 games. Dante DiVincenzo 1 game. Ron Holland got a game suspension. Naz Reid 1 game suspension, and Marcus Sasser 1 game suspension. I think that's the right thing to do. Oh, you fought, you miss a game, but let's get you back out there. People in the comments of every comment section that was posting the fights, Bleacher Report, ESPN, House of Highlights, all of them. Everyone's like, I'm all for it. These guys are showing some pride and some passion in the game.
Yeah. And just suspend them a game or 2, and then you're back out. That's fine. I think that's
the Pistons, they're really. It seems like they're really close to putting together a team that it's shades of the bad boy Pistons, of those Ben Wallace teams in the early 2000s that did win championships. They got an elite guard that can really do it on offense, and then they've just got some dogs defensively.
Oh yeah.
They're just gonna beat you defensively and let their it was Isaiah Thomas, and then it was was it not Jason Kidd? I'm blanking. Sorry Pistons fans, I'm forgetting who it was on that 2000s title team. That 2020
Chauncey Billups. Right?
Chauncey Billups, that's right. Thank you. He was cooking you there, and then now it's Cade Cunningham. You got some guys. Was it Mike Bibby was on those teams too, man?
I think so.
He was a bucket.
I think so. I think he was on a couple before he was mainly on the Kings, but he was on both those teams, Kings and Pistons. He was on the Pistons towards the end of his career when he started to get more jacked too, before he retired. And then he just got super muscular for some reason. Guys, he was just so bored, just lifting weights in his free time after retirement. Dude got big.
I miss it. I miss Mike Bibby. He was electric.
He was pretty cold.
Yeah. I like to, when I'm playing like a 2K classic team. I like teams that got Mike Bibby.
Oh, yeah.
I'll probably choose, I'm more entitled to choose or inclined to choose them if they got Mike Bibby on
That's
there.
fair.
He's a lot of fun in 2K as well. All right. Well,
He always
NBA
makes it
playoff.
good.
There's our NBA playoff update picture. That's how it's all shaping out. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are on it. Who do you want your team play on round one, or is your team even going to make it?
I just hope the Celtics don't win the championship again. That's all I want. I just don't want the Celtics to win the championship again.
I don't think they will. I really think Cleveland comes out of the East. I honestly do. I mean, they got the exact type of team that can match up with Boston. Evan Mobley is just an elite defender, man. Like I think he'll put the clamps on Porzingis, but he's got some speed and he can shuffle his feet to just really to erase the interior, man.
My defensive player of the year is that Tumani Kamara guy from the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they
That's
released
my guy, dude.
They released a hype video.
That's
for him.
my
That
guy.
was so cool too.
He's actually a lockdown defender too. That's my guy right there, man. He's off
The
the radar,
box.
dude.
That's his nickname. He puts you in the box, torture chamber. All right. Well, hey, let's pop over to the NHL. Get off the court and onto the ice.
Here we go.
What's the updated playoff picture looking like right now? Well, as of March 31st on Bleacher Report, their projections, we got the Jets and the Blues would be facing off in round one. Still got the Avalanche and Dallas looking to face off for the Central Division. Los Angeles and Edmonton would still be playing each other. And then it'd be Vegas and the Wild. The Blues they're on a hot streak. They've won what
Yeah,
now?
they just jumped the Wild.
Yeah, they've won 10 straight, I believe, as of last night. And they've been on a tear. They're catching some momentum going into the postseason. Let's see here. Yeah, 10-game winning streak. The Stars are on a 6-game winning streak too. Up to 74 points. So they do have oh no, they do have more points. 102 points. So I was looking at the wrong column there. Yeah, so they would still hold that 2 seed over the Avs. Ooh, the Blues, man, that could be a sneaky team round one. I don't know. That wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too thrilled
man.
about running into them.
Dude, that's a good run from him here late. I like that.
Not gonna lie. I mean, you're catching fire at the right time.
Yeah,
Putting together
dark
some
horse
momentum
pick,
like that.
man. Dark horse pick. Watch out for St. Louis.
Yeah, man, the Central is stacked this year. We're looking at potentially 5 teams in the postseason just out of the Central. Yeah, Calgary is way too far back behind the Wilds, 6 points. Yeah, Minnesota would just have to mess up big time, I think, to let either Calgary or Vancouver maybe catch them. I'll see. Seattle's already eliminated. San Jose's already eliminated. Nashville, Chicago, they're eliminated. But Winnipeg holding strong. Dallas might. They're only 4 points back from them in the playoff picture. Maybe they catch them. I honestly kind of wouldn't mind that. I think Colorado would match up a little bit better with Winnipeg round one than Dallas. I wouldn't mind that for my Avalanche. And over here in the Eastern Conference, projected matchups as of right now: Maple Leafs at 1, A1 would be, or Atlantic 1 They would be playing
Ottawa
Ottawa.
Senators. Who've
Probably
also kind of snuck into the mix this year too. Pretty quiet going into this.
yeah, they've been having a
run here.
sneaky good season.
Sneaky good year.
I'm looking at the Capitals here.
They're really the scariest team in the Eastern Conference right now, in my opinion. At least also in the Metropolitan. Because just look how many points they are ahead of everybody. Carolina is the next best team with 94, and Washington has 105. The Metropolitan is really just kind of a weaker conference this year as well.
Avi is 891, man. He's 3 away from tying it, 4 away from breaking it, too.
Come on, Ovi. Come
right
on,
there.
Ovi.
Got his number 891 last night against Boston. Yeah, he got just right place, right time last night on the power play. Just got it right in front of an empty net. This is now his 18th career season with at least 10 power play goals as well, according to ESPN research. Wow. That's still mind-blowing season for me just out of him. Gonna potentially catch Wayne Gretzky's goal record. He's going to. I think
he's going to, for sure.
It's pretty much a guarantee now. He's 4 away from breaking it.
And just his age as well, factoring into this. It's so crazy to think that this guy has been doing it for this long.
Let's see how many games do the Capitals have left, and who might he break it against? All right, well, if you're Carolina, Chicago, New York, Columbus, or Pittsburgh, you're all at risk of him breaking the record against you. Got a game tonight against Carolina. So, yeah, if he goes off and scores a bunch in one game, he might break it. Yeah,
10-game heater. I don't think they're getting caught.
That's what we were saying there too. They're I don't know, 10-game heater like that going into the postseason. We'll see how many more they even win too. But that's good to put together a win streak like that. That's a lot of momentum. It'll make them a scary team going into it. All right. Some of the other East matchups we're looking at: Tampa Bay, Florida. That's going to be a doozy. Capitals would have Montreal, I believe that is, Montreal, and then Hurricanes and the Devils. So some intriguing first round matchups there for sure.
Devils could be a sneaky team too. I just want to see him do something, for the boy Frank the Tank. Yeah. Come on, Jersey Devils. Y'all got this. Be a sneaky team in the Eastern Conference.
The Atlantic's they got a lot of good teams as well. Right now, potentially 5 teams making it. Montreal doesn't have quite as big as a lead as the Wild in St. Louis does, though. They got the Rangers, the Blue Jackets, all right on their tails. The Red Wings and the Islanders, if they went on a run, they could potentially sneak in there. So they're gonna have to play they're gonna have to be pretty perfect. I want to just take another look at St. Louis and just what they've been doing these past 10 games. Taking that, they took down some pretty good teams. They beat the Avalanche, beat the Canadiens 6-1. Took down the Wild 5-1 to get this 10-game winning streak going. A 7-game goal against the Ducks. They're on a tear. Jordan Cairo, 32 power play goals this season. Jeez. Or 32 goals, 6 in the power play. I read that wrong. My fault. Robert Thomas scored 69 points for him. And he's got 50 assists. Got some dudes here, man. They really do. I'm going to watch out for St. Louis. I think they'll be sneaky here.
I think that could be a squad, man. Dark horse pick going into this bracket. NHL playoffs is going to be exciting this year because I really don't even know at this point. Is the Canadian team finally going to get it?
Don't be ridiculous. Let's try to be somewhat realistic here.
We poached all their talent. We didn't got all their guys on the American teams now.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, that's going to do it for our NHL playoff breakdown. You know what? Caveman, now let's head over to the Diamond. MLB regular season has officially gotten going.
Rockies freaking stink, man.
Rockies still suck. The Dodgers are super stacked. The Mets looking good with Juan Soto, although they did lose last night to the Marlins of all teams.
The funniest thing that I saw, though, recently is that Freddie Freeman actually sustained an ankle injury from falling in the shower. So he's going to be out multiple games from an ankle injury from falling in the shower.
Crazy. Atlanta, not a great start to the season. They were one of these very hyped teams coming into the year. It was like, oh boy, what's Atlanta going to do? Haven't won the game yet. And they just lost the guy that they made a big move for. Dirksen Profar is suspended 80 games for violating the PED policy.
Oh my god!
Of the MLB, yeah, not looking great
That's
for the
not
Braves.
A good start.
No,
nope. That's a horrible start.
Not the start you want to have.
Quickly though, for the Rockies, I do want to talk about their opener. Yeah. It was their away opener against the Tampa Bay Rays. A game that really looked pretty good. You know, Fairbanks got the win in this one, actually. He was in for the first 6 innings, had 0 runs allowed. We're up 2-0 going into the 7th inning. They pull Fairbanks. What do our relievers do? Allow 2 runs in the second, pitch the Rays right back into the game, and in the 9th inning, allow a home run bomb that gives up the lead and pretty much get walked off. Yeah, really got walked off against the Rays in this one in the bottom of the 9th.
Brutal. Oh my God.
I mean, Fairbanks got the win. He was a pretty good starter. I kind of have some hopes for him, but the depth in the bullpen is going to kill us all season, and we saw it in the first game. They pitched us out of the game in 2 innings.
Ugly. Not a good look. What was I'm trying to find it here. It was Sunday, I believe. The series between the Diamondbacks and the Cubs was pretty intriguing. And the 4th game of that series, man, the Cubs went into the 8th inning with a 6-2 lead and then gave up an 8-run 8th to lose the game.
10-6.
And then they went down swinging at the plate at the top of the 9th to lose on the road. So
it's a good way to start. Give some our NL West rivals like the Arizona Diamondbacks some good confidence wins early in the year. I mean, it's a long season, though.
You had Matthew Boyd. He started that game for the Cubs. Him in person, Nate Pearson, they pitched the first 6 innings about. Only gave up 7 hits between the 2 of them. Pearson gave up 2 runs. He had a couple of walks. Boyd was fantastic. He had 5 Ks, 0 ERA. He was lights out. And then the relievers came in, and it got out of hand. First, Thielbar gave up 2 runs. They pulled him off the mound, and they put in Eli Morgan just for him to give up 6 hits, 6 runs. And then they pulled him off, and Ray was able to calm it down. Only gave up 1 hit, but at that point, it was all too late.
It was all too late
over there. So,
and the Rays actually leading the American League East. Oh snap! Those torpedo bats aren't stopping them. Yankees are still down half a game.
We gotta talk about them torpedo bats. That's been all the buzz right now.
So did they get banned at all, or no?
I don't think so. I don't think they're talking about it. I personally I don't really see a problem with it. Like, why not? You know, I'm like,
Well, I feel like it could be the same as like their PEDs. It's like if they're just gonna change the bats and make it easier, then like put all those guys in the Hall of Fame that are banned. MLB said they are legal. Oh yeah, so put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame.
right.
I want all those guys in the Hall of Fame then. If that's how it's gonna be. I feel like they just pretty much made it like they're on steroids,
Like,
man.
I don't know. Not
These
everyone's
bats are crazy.
not everyone's even choosing to use them too. Is the crazy thing. I just can't believe it's taken us like this many, like over a century of baseball for someone to be like, what if we just make like the part that hits the ball
Yeah,
the
it
most
took this
often
long.
thicker?
Like outside of
I think
Greco-Roman wrestling, this is like the oldest sport.
I think everyone was just like, I mean, no, there's no way
There's
we
a
can
lot
do this.
to it.
It's got to be illegal. Like everyone just, it's one of those things that feels illegal, so nobody does it, and then someone's like, what if we just try to do it? You know, we're the
Yeah, we
Yankees.
could do this.
What's going to happen to us? And wham bam, they're 3-1, and just, I mean, cranking out runs. They've scored 41 so far. They've been, I mean, they had like 8 homers the other day.
Yeah, their opener, I'm pretty sure that I think they had 9. And it was the debut of the torpedo bats too. It's crazy though. Like they're like, yeah, we have 27 or something World Series trophies in our stadium. Let's just try something out. Why not? Who knows if it's legal? If they ban it, they ban it. We're still the Yankees.
And I mean, it's Judge isn't even using them, and he's still one of the league leaders so far in terms of home runs. So I don't know. I don't think they're giving like that crazy of an advantage. I kind of like this relief pitcher. I believe he was on the Phillies. Said like just give, just let pitchers do something to give themselves an edge, just to balance it out. Like screw, you want more, like give them. So he was like, let's use some sort of stickum or something. I don't really understand it. I'm not a pitcher, so I didn't really see or understand how it would give them an advantage, but he seemed to believe that it would, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, give pitchers a little bit of an advantage back, and like, boom, I mean, I think
you had people thrown out of the game for having too much sticky stuff on their hands,
right,
and trying to hide it. So true. Maybe that would make it a little bit better. Even out the playing fields a little bit.
Yeah. That's crazy. The Rockies somehow got 3 pitchers in the top of the ERA average, or the earned run average. That's got to be just because they've like pitched like 3 pitches and then come out or something. That it's not because they're good folks. Let's see who's leading in stolen bases so far. O'Neal Cruz, Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis. Dude, Padres are going to be scary this year too, man.
Definitely are.
I know that like they lost Profar, and I don't think that's going to affect them a whole lot because their infield defense still elite, and they have such a deep bullpen. Their pitching is just crazy. I mean, they just got some dudes in there. They stay healthy, and for most of the season, they're going to be a force, I think.
Oh yeah.
So I'm keeping an eye on San Diego. I mean, it's good. Like their series against the Dodgers this season are going to be legendary. I mean, they're right there with LA.
That rivalry just got a lot better, honestly, between those two teams. That's going to be hype. That playoff series alone was just enough hype. Funny thing is, though, Padres really thought they won the series and partied too hard. Wanted to use that as an excuse of why the Dodgers beat them in the playoffs last year. Come on. You guys got to know the schedule of the playoffs. Like, come on.
But speaking of the Dodgers, scary. So they're second most home runs in the MLB so far. They've got the most pitching wins. The guy, the new prospect, Yoshimoto, whatever it is. I cannot remember all these pitchers'
There's
names.
so many pitchers. Every team has so many of them.
Yeah. I'll start getting more familiar with the guys as the season goes along.
Yeah,
They're
once
also
the season goes.
they're also top 5 in earned run average, but I'll say right behind them in pitching wins, Padres, number 1 ERA, team ERA, Padres, right there. LA does have 4 saves as a team so far. Strikeouts, 83 from the Dodgers. Padres with 60 is the next closest team. Runs batted in, Dodgers third with 37. I mean, right now, these are like they're just everywhere as a team, like in like pitching, hitting. It's just so strong crossing them. Their defense, their defense is, I wouldn't say necessarily elite, but it's very complimentary to what they got there. I mean, you got MVP caliber guys out there like Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Will Smith is a great pitcher. The MLB might need the salary cap because they're just
these teams are so stacked.
This is nuts.
It leaves those bottom of the barrel teams in a really tough spot and just really hard to rebuild.
The Rockies, their lone bright spot, they got some guy that just does like a crazy celebration on his pitches. We just need to get him on the mound as much as possible, bro. I
don't even know if he's gonna.
I don't care. We're gonna
pitching for us this year.
Rockies are gonna be absolutely dog water. Like,
you might as well.
This guy's gonna be entertaining. They're already at the bottom of the NL West. Like, I mean, I know it's early. Dodgers are already 7-0.
Yeah, there's 2 undefeated teams in the division, so it's like
Padres and Dodgers, right? I mean, like we got, and like the Diamondbacks are in there too. Like Diamondbacks are.
It was 3 playoff
just
teams.
Nearly missed it.
3 playoff teams in the NL West last year.
And I think that the Giants they're all right. I mean, they're certainly better than us. I mean, they're not like by any means a bad team. They're just not really up there with the top end teams, but they're still a whole lot better than the Rockies. All right, wow. Gonna be another tough season for Colorado baseball. So
Oh yeah, it is. It's gonna be unfortunate. White Sox, on the other hand, though, 2-3 so far.
There you go.
2-3. They were on track to be able to win all their games this year, but unfortunately, that is no longer. It is no longer.
They did drop a few, yeah.
A better start than they could have had. 8-1 in your first game against the Angels. I mean, it's a decent home opener, right? Decent home opening series. Their offense just completely cooled down in the next 2 games, getting 2 runs combined in the next 2 after getting 8. So
then they open their series against the Twins with 9 runs.
9, yeah.
So the White Sox might be first game of the series demons, and then just
they lost 8-3 the next one,
and just be really bad the next.
Really bad the next few.
When you play the Chicago White Sox in the series, watch out game 1. They're coming.
Yeah, watch out game 1. They'll get you,
and then they're gonna just save their energy for the next series.
Got him, guys. Taking it one first game of the series at a time.
All right. Well, we've been going for a while here. We're going to go ahead and do a quick break. Let us know what you're hyped to see about this MLB season. Who you got your eyes on, what teams you're watching and rooting for this year, what players that you want to see break out. When we come back, we're going to have a UFL Week 1 update as well as some NFL offseason updates as well. So don't go anywhere here on Military Broadcast Radio. This is Till the Final Whistle.
Signed up to fight for freedom. What a price you had to pay. Picture in a helmet, missing family every day. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane. Some scars we'll never see. She will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter. She's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. On that old dusty base with the meadows that shine, she's been to hell and back for the stars and the stripes. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane, and some scars we'll never see, and she will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. Yeah, yes. For the ones that didn't make it, we will pause and then we cry. We can still see their smile in every sunrise. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend, standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
You are looking live at Till the Final Whistle, everybody. Let's get into these UFL matchups. The Battlehawks opened up the season and just absolutely beat down on the Houston Roughnecks.
Yeah, just crushed them.
31-6.
And they just ran them into submission. Might be another season that really is defined by teams that can run the ball well. And that's certainly St. Louis's plan. Manny Wilkins, the new quarterback, taking over for A.J. McCarron. You know, nothing shocking on the stat sheets. Very efficient, 17-22, only 189 yards. But he was just making sure not to lose the game through the air because they dominated on the ground. He actually had 43 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns himself. Part of a 273 4-touchdown day from the Battlehawks on the ground. Jarvion Howard with 115 in the touch. Jacob Sailors 98 yards in the touchdown. This St. Louis team, they were probably more of an air raid offense last year, but they started shifting their identity late in the season. I think they're going to be very ground and pound this year. And I mean, Hakeem Butler was injured, didn't really play in this one. So, I mean, when he comes back, that's just another element that can make this offense more dynamic.
That run game, dude, you kill them on time of possession. You just control that game all the way through it.
Yeah. Rough day for Houston. Might be another rough season. They ended up going to 2 different QBs. Anthony Brown, I believe he got hurt, and that's why he came out. He had a passer rating of 12.9, went 5 for 11, 21 yards, and 2 interceptions. Nolan Henderson came in for relief, 7-18, 68 yards and a touchdown. But, I mean, they had 76 total yards passing. When you factor in sack yardage, the defense just was dominant too for St. Louis here. 3 sacks, they broke up 7 passes, 2 interceptions, 3 tackles for a loss as well. Just Houston couldn't get anything going. Dominant win for my Battlehawks to open the season. Not really too much else to say. Rodrigo Blankenship. I don't know if you guys remember that guy. He's kicking for the Battlehawks now. So let's go.
That's always good to see. It made a little comeback. He wasn't in the NFL for a while.
Yeah. They had those crazy goggles, man.
Now he's back. He was honestly a pretty decent kicker. I mean,
Yeah,
he kind of had a
was.
fall off when he was on like Houston towards the end of his career, but it wasn't too bad. He wasn't too bad.
For sure. But that's really the recap of the Battlehawks game. There wasn't too much to say there. I mean, St. Louis just controlled this one from start to finish. The lone 6 points garbage time touchdown, final drive of the game, pretty much. Houston, I believe they went for the 3-point play from the 10, didn't get it. I love that you can go for 3 from the 10. That's so fun to me. It's gonna be a funny season. All right, another game that kind of turned out to be a blowout. The Arlington Renegades, man, thumping the San Antonio Brahmas. The Brahmas, keep in mind, went to the UFL championship last year. Renegades, we said on their show last week that they had the firepower through the air. That was never a question. What was going to be a question was how their run game and their defense showed up. I'd say it showed up pretty well.
It definitely did. Because the Brahmas defense last year was what got them to the championship.
Yeah.
They were a really good defensive team last year.
And they certainly struggled in this one. Only one takeaway here. I mean, defenders didn't even get a takeaway, and they still just shut down the offense of San Antonio. Luis Perez was on the struggle bus, man.
Yeah, it was a tough game.
He wasn't like crazy inefficient. 20-25, 164, but they just couldn't push the ball down the field. They ran it fairly. I mean,
Balaj.
sorry, I mean I'm on the wrong team. Kellen Mond was 17 of 31, 159. They just couldn't get the run game going, and he couldn't really push the ball down the field. He didn't get sacked a ton, but there was a lot of pressure that just made them uncomfortable back there. Pair that up, McFarland and Corbin just both were getting bottled up all day. They kept Deontay Kirkland in check. Wasn't a great debut for Mond.
Not this week, no. Not this week for him.
Sal Cannella was real solid with the 5 for 45, but it was really the running of Arlington that was really carried the load for them for the most part.
Balaj with 110 on 9 attempts, dude. 12 yards to carry. He had some crazy runs. That 77-yarder that is long right there, he broke off like 4 or 5 tackles, just shredded off people running to the end zone. He was not going to be stopped. Their running offense definitely could be something to watch out for.
Right. I mean, this was kind of a down day through the air for San Antonio, but Perez was actually statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the UFL last season. He was top 5 in passing yards, passing touchdowns, completion percentage, all that. Just the Renegades team around them just wasn't too great, but I think they really made some good improvements in the offseason. Balaj and Day Hunter, that kind of dual-headed monster there in the backfield, can really provide some support to the passing game. And the defense has gotten a lot better right there. So watch out for Arlington. They might be a team to be a force. We'll see if the Brahmas can get a bounce back coming up here in week 2. All right, well, now, Caveman, Let's go talk about your Michigan
Panthers,
Panthers.
man. They're pretty crazy this season, honestly. Their defense looks really good. We were talking about it on the break. They look pretty stacked. I like this defense we got right here.
Yeah.
And I like
Frank Gidno was all over the place. He had 11 tackles. 6 of those solos got in for half of a sack as well. That's going to be a real fun player. Kai Nakua
with a
could
pick
be
6.
That to seal the game too.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much put the nail in the coffin. He went, 80 yards?
Yeah. And the same day, Samson Nakua also got a touchdown in this game.
Right. The Nakua brothers were going off in this one. Those guys both related to Puka, the standout wide receiver on the Rams. Yeah, 3 total sacks here and 4 tackles for a loss for this Panthers defense. And they kept Memphis out of the end zone. Like Memphis had some decent looking drives going throughout the day, and they just once they got over midfield, that Panthers defense really tightened up and forced those drives to stall out.
Oh yeah. One guy that I really, really was happy with was Bryce Perkins, dude. 16 for 19. We didn't throw the ball a whole lot in this game, but it was 163 yards and a touchdown. You know, kept good care of the ball, only 3 incompletions. But this guy was an absolute beast running the football. He had pretty much 2 7-yard runs, one where he hurdled the guy, and the other one he trucks a dude into the end zone for a touchdown. This guy's putting his body on the line. I like the energy that he brings. Good leader. I think once they figure out who really is going to be the overall first running back, because Colburn and McCrary kind of split the carries. Once we figure out who the number 1 running back is, the offense could be pretty solid. With that defense behind it, I mean, we could really give up. We could really throw 19 passes a game if we're going to allow 12 points.
Right. Well, and Danny Etling even came in for a little bit as well. He threw 6 passes himself. EJ Perry left y'all, man, to go to Memphis and did not have a strong showing against his former team.
No, he did
10 of 17 for only 93 yards, a touchdown and a pick. And then Troy Williams came in for relief of him, and he only threw for 104 in the pick. Non-existent running game for y'all there. And Marcus Sims, Samson Nakua, that could be a real fun tandem at wide receiver too. I'm excited to see what those guys do.
Good time to be a Michigan Panthers football fan, people.
Name of the game right
Come
now
on
in,
over.
in the UFL. Good defense and being able to run the football and just being able to run it with a lot of different guys, you know, like teams are just cycling through and having, you know, 5, the winning teams so far week 1, 4 or 5 ball carries.
4
they're
or 5,
all doing
yeah.
very efficient. No one's really tearing it up through the air as of yet.
It's been pretty slower paced.
It's definitely a more defense centric league. I think
mind that.
And you know, early in the season, they don't have a preseason, so I think some of the offenses are going to start picking up as the season goes along and they figure more things out. All right. Well, the Birmingham Stallions
lost,
trying to come out and defend their title from last season, got absolutely blanked by the defenders.
16 passing yards.
Oof.
16 total passing yards for the Stallions.
Yeah, Alex Magoo was under siege. That's all those sack yardages getting taken out of it. He did in the box score 89 passing yards for 1 touchdown. He looked unsettled back there. I think he got sacked 8 times. And I mean, like as soon as he felt any pressure, he just wanted to take off and run. He was most of the rushing offense too with the 84 yards.
That was getting line must have lost a lot, dude. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that was a big question around the Stallions. Just like, you know, a lot of teams in the NFL saw the talent here, and a lot of those guys ended up on the roster in the NFL.
They're
getting
gone now.
Snaps out there. Like, how did they go about replacing that? I mean, you lost Adrian Martinez. And Magoo, similar type of prototype of a player. Doesn't look like he might. I don't know if he's going to really fill that mold. Only one touchdown on the day for the defenders. They just played really good defense and were at least able to finish a lot of drives with field goals. Teamu did hit Chris Rowland for a touchdown, a little 2-minute drill before halftime.
Shout out to their kicker, though.
Dude, he threw Teamu, sorry, real quick. He threw the ball all over the field.
Yeah,
17 of 37
attempts, man.
He was
They
not
were
at
just
all
letting him
accurate,
swing it.
but he was slinging it.
45.9%. I mean, still a touchdown, 211 yards. They could clean that up for the end of the year for sure with that defense. They're pretty solid defensively.
Right. But you're saying that kicker, Matt McCrane.
12 points already scored for his team off kicks. It's been one game.
4 for 4. And Rowland, man, he got close to busting one on a kick return. If he just the backside protection just really wasn't there, but he was letting it set up in front of him, and they kind of closed in on him from behind. But he looked like he might have taken one to the house. That blocking was just a little bit better. But let's get into the sack party that the defenders had here. Who was getting in on it? Anthony Hines, 2 sacks there. Derek Roberson, 2 sacks as well.
There's 4.
Joe Wallace, Andre Mentz, each picking up 1. Kyle Phillips,
6.
he's getting in on it.
7.
Bryce Thompson, there's the 8th one.
Wow.
8 sacks, 9 TFLs. A forced fumble that they recovered and an interception. So 2 takeaways, 8 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss.
Dang.
And yeah, a quarterback that was shook. I mean, he was rattled. Magoo was rattled very early in this one. So the defenders, they came into the season and 7 in the preseason polls. If that offense gets it figured out, because this defense is looking pretty elite.
Yeah.
Ooh, look out. 7 might have been too low for them.
Dude. If he could complete like 23 of those 37 passes, man, hey, that's a completely different game. This might be a blowout.
Yep. So, and we got to see the famous DC beer snake, man. It made its return.
Yeah.
Dude. That's one of the coolest things in all sports. If you can watch a DC Defenders home game, the beer snake, man. I mean, they're getting the ESPN's doing their halftime package about it. Like it's quickly becoming one of the more iconic things in sports.
It is pretty sick tradition to have, honestly.
Right.
I like it.
I mean, like the defenders are behind it, like they've got like their fans that they come to the games, like they're appointed to basically be the beer snake managers, and just make sure that it stays organized, that the cups don't go anywhere and leave a huge mess. So they get the beer snake going. I mean, it's a whole special operation that they got going there. Their guys, they're going and collecting cups. They're going up and down the stands, getting cups. They got it worked out to a science. They know exactly what type of cups work best to put the snake together. You're looking for the 24 ounces, like anything else is like, sorry, you can't be in the beer snake. So, and it takes like an insane amount of cups, like
to wrap around from
nearly
one
10
end to the other.
I think it's like nearly 10,000 or something like that.
That's a lot of cups.
I mean, so it's like it's great for the defenders because that's like nearly $100,000 on beer a game.
Yeah,
to
make all that,
fill those cups. So you're making bank off of that.
They got
beer
the
stick.
Cleanup right. They got the cleanup crew down. They got everything down. They knew they were gonna make their money.
Like as soon as the game's ending, they just start passing down chunks of it, and they got recycling bins there at the bottom of the stands. The fans throw it in there, so they get the snake going, and everyone takes a ton of pride in it. I mean, it's a community effort,
and that's the best part about it, honestly.
Yeah,
bringing people together.
All right. Well, some week 2 matchups to look at here. So on Friday night rather, Stallions and Panthers.
Panthers. Let's go, Panthers.
I think
Come on.
Michigan, this is their home opener, might brutalize Birmingham here. I don't know, man. Stallions did not look good, and that defense might give Magoo some more problems. We'll see if the reigning champs get back on track, but I think Michigan wins this one pretty handily.
Oh, yeah. Could be 10 sacks.
The defenders and the showboats. I got to go defenders moving on to 2-0 here.
Yeah, they bring a lot of pressure, it looks like, man. They're going to be scary this year.
Yeah, that defensive pass rush is something else. We'll see if their offense shows up. They didn't really run the ball or pass it all particularly efficiently against Birmingham. But Memphis's defense, I think, is still worse. So they might get a rebound here. The Renegades versus the Roughnecks, a little battle in Texas here. You know what? I got to say, I think the Renegades are going to pop off again and just blow out the Roughnecks here.
I think they got that one. Renegades could be scary this year, too. They're coming under the radar.
Yeah, they look like they really made some big improvements to their team. And they already had the quarterback. They just really had to get it figured out some other places of the ball. Then the Brahmas and the Battlehawks here.
Is this a home opener for St. Louis?
It looks like it. So the Battle Dome.
That one. The Battle
Dome. That's going to be packed.
Here we go.
That is the nightcap on Sunday night. Brahmas did knock him out of the playoffs last year. I don't know if they were as bad as they showed against Arlington. Maybe they just had a bad game. This one could be a doozy. This is, I think, our best matchup of the weekend, potentially. We'll see if Birmingham comes back to that championship form that they've had. That Panthers game could also turn into a real spectacle as well. So those are the two to circle for this weekend. But spring football's here. It's a lot of fun.
Full swing.
They still got the full immersion. I mean, you get to listen to like play calls. You get behind the scenes in the booth. It's awesome. So
post-play interviews where the guy scores a touchdown, they run down and interview him right after. It's pretty sick.
Go and check it.
It's really different experience of watching football for sure. It's something fun for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, if you haven't checked it out yet, get on it. Go check out the UFL. Let us know who you're rooting for this season. Caveman, we got about 10 minutes left here. We got some NFL rule changes that have gone into effect. Shall we discuss some of those?
Let's check those out real quick the last few minutes.
All right. So, I know one of the first rule changes that we've had here is the NFL overtime rules have changed to now both teams get a possession in overtime in the regular season. What are your thoughts on this one? Yeah,
so the playoff rules are still going to be the same?
Yeah, so the playoff, I mean, it's essentially playoff overtime rules have been applied to the regular season.
Okay.
I'm for this, man.
Yeah.
I like teams being able to get a chance to
don't let it come down to just that coin toss, you know?
Right, exactly. I think it's more than just a coin toss. So I'm all for this one. Let's see here. What else do we got? I know the tush push ban that's been tabled, so it hasn't it hasn't been killed or approved. It's just they've tabled that discussion. Same with the playoff seeding discussion. That's tabled, so that one's not officially done or dead yet. But it's also, hasn't been passed. The touchbacks are now coming out to the 35. This is kind of interesting.
Dang.
I mean, they really think, I don't know, like they really just think that it's going to provide more kickoffs. And I think you got to stop pushing touchbacks up and start pushing where the other team kicks the ball off from. Like, I mean, now it's like if you're a return team, you're getting the ball at the 35.
You're just gonna want to touch back every single time.
Right. I mean,
That's
you
a
have
pretty
to
favorable.
you
spot
have to
be.
make the return team think that they can get more yardage if they try to return the ball.
Yeah, if you're moving them forward, they're not going to want to return it even more because you're just starting off in the favorable position for your offense instead of just having to return it. But I like having the kicker kick it back further. They're not going to be able to boot it out of the end zone every single time.
Right. It's like, I mean, if that ball even goes anywhere near the end, like close to coming to the end zone, like the return team's not going to touch it. And trying to pooch kick it into the landing zone. I think there's just still too many things that could potentially go wrong for the return team,
Yeah.
Where it's like, I mean, it's still just, I think more teams are going to just find that, I'd rather just, we got to stop them from the 35 now. Like, let's go. I think this isn't the way to generate more kickoffs. You got to send them back to kicking it at the 20 or the 25, move them back 10 yards. Like, you got to make the return team think that they can get more yardage trying to return the ball. I don't exactly remember how kneeing it works with these new dynamic kickoff rules.
Only if you're in the end zone.
I think it's only if you're in the end zone. So we'll see. Maybe they're right. Maybe we're wrong. I don't see this really adding too many more kickoffs. I think we'll certainly see more, even more than we saw last year. There was a slight jump. Wasn't anything insane, but there was a slight jump this season. So we'll see. Maybe they know what they're doing. The next one I'm super pumped for. Replay assist expanded. Thank God.
Yes.
We can now have replay, like we can have penalties that have been called. If they are clear and obviously wrong, replay assist can come in and wipe away a bad flag. So, I
like it.
We needed this. Now, they can't come in and call for a flag on the play where one didn't get thrown. So, sorry, Vikings fans. If Sam Darnold gets his head ripped off again, when what should have been an obvious face mask and 15 yards, and it turns into a safety for you, against you rather, replay assist can't come in and do that. And that makes sense because it's like, I mean, how many more penalties are going to get called if an all-seeing eye can just come in at any time?
It's going to be like the NBA where you can change calls when you're in the replay system and you can take off and add whatever you'd like to.
Obviously, nobody wants more flags and more penalties in the game. But I do like, if a flag gets called in error, we can wipe it away. And they're now using Hawkeye technology to help spot the ball and get more accurate
the UFL
placements.
is doing
basically.
that this year too.
Yeah, so the chain gang is still going to be there, but they're going to be secondary. The Hawkeye technology is going to really be where we use to determine the ball. Yeah, so it's going to be more of a test phase. That's for sure. But I'm all for this as well. I think just to get more accurate spots. I do like the drama of the chain gang coming out, and it's like, oh, did he get it? Is he going to be there? Like, what are we going to have?
Adds a little bit of excitement to the game.
That's always a lot of fun, but you're using the imperfect science of the human eye to judge where football is, and I think it's you need a good combination of the two for the drama, but also to help it be more accurate. Because we've seen some very bad spots have some pretty huge outcomes on games. Now, they also banned a bunch of celebrations, and this is the no fun league, like the nose wipe thing that CD Lamb does. I guess they don't want players thrusting anymore. They're gonna like ban celebrations that can be flagged, and like It's just dumb. I like
That's dumb.
this. I don't think adds it. Like they're like, oh well, won't someone think of the children? And I'm like, I don't. Like there's a ton of adults that watch this game too, and it's more fun
It's
for
worse on
everybody
TV.
when the players are having fun. You know.
Think about the kids that were watching when Trevor Lawrence got absolutely laid out and knocked out last season.
Right. Well, that
Think
was
about the kids then.
I don't know. That was their argument, but I'm like, I don't think that this is at all. That's at all why you actually care about this. I think
Exactly.
ultimately this is just going to boil down to more ways we can find players now.
Yep.
Like you're hiding behind this. Oh, think about the kids when really you just want a way to find players more.
Because they
And
do
then-
that aplenty
Right.
in this league.
I love it when the guys are having fun. I like we had some hilarious season or celebrations last year.
Yeah, we had a lot of weird stuff going on. A
Yeah.
lot of weird stuff going on. And they're having fun.
Right.
Why not just let them do it?
The nose wipe thing being passed too was just stupid.
That's stupid. Yeah. Like, come on. That's a first down celebration. Come on.
And then they passed some roster changes things as well. This is more so just to like injured players can be designated to return to the active roster at the final cut down day. So if a guy's on the injured roster and it's like, all right, we're getting the cut day, they can be, now they can be listed DTR designated to return. So they get up to 10 people for that. Free agency change. So now teams can conduct meetings with players over Zoom during the negotiation period. Before they weren't allowed to reach out to players. They're only able to contact with their agents. So this will certainly stop maybe some tampering now that like they can schedule meetings with these players just over Zoom, granted, but it can be a little bit more above board and out in the open before the league year opens. So we might be seeing guys, at least tipping their hand to where they're going before the Super Bowl is even over.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's crazy.
It's going to be a little,
Wow.
it's going to be kind of crazy. Just
Man, Falcons
Harder
fans are
to-
upset. They just all got a huge fine on their team for that Kirk Cousins stuff in the offseason and that Darnell Mooney stuff in the offseason.
right.
That's messed up.
All right. But those are all the big rule changes that passed. There's still some more that could, come to be passed when they reconvene in May again.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But those ones are all the ones that have come to pass for sure. We got about 2 minutes or about a minute left. Just want to cover a rumor I'm hearing: Kirk Cousins to the Browns.
I've
What are they
heard about
thinking
that.
here, man?
I've heard about that
Do
recently.
you need to with what
And-
you're paying Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett, do you need to take
Why would
Kirk
they do
Cousins'
that?
contract?
Why?
Like,
Why
unless
would
the
they do
Falcons cut him and then you can pick him up for cheap.
Yeah, then do that. When the
Then
Falcons own up to their mistake and finally just eat that cap, then you sign him. Because they're going to be paying his bills. You're fine.
Exactly. You do not need that Kirk Cousins contract on top of your other ones. Well, that's all the time we got today, folks. We're gonna have to sign off the air here as it's reached the 10 o'clock hour.
10 o'clock mark.
We'll be back for one more Madness Monday on the 7th. And we got the draft coming upon us, so I'll have another mock draft for us coming up here soon to take a look at. And we'll keep you up to date on all the NBA, NHL, MLB news that's going on. For Caveman, I'm HG. We got H Train on the sound today. It's Till the Final Whistle on Military Broadcast Radio. Signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.